That piece of barramundi in your shopping trolley right now, the one you're planning to grill tonight, could be one of the healthiest, most satisfying meals you'll have all week if you know where to shop. Because behind Australia's seafood counters, there's a hidden advantage most shoppers completely overlook. Some stores are quietly doing things right. We're talking better sourcing, stricter temperature control, fresher turnover, and seafood that actually delivers on what the label promises. The difference? It's not small. It's the difference between fish that's just okay and fish that tastes like it came straight off the boat. Over the next 20 minutes, we're breaking down 5 Australian grocery chains that are surprisingly worth your attention when it comes to seafood, from consistent freshness to improving sourcing standards. These are the places where smart shoppers are getting better quality than they expected. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where to go and what to look for, so every seafood meal you make actually lives up to the hype. Let's take a closer look. Number 5, Coles. Let's start with a name almost every Australian knows: Coles. Now here's the interesting part. While Coles often gets overlooked by seafood purists, many locations have quietly stepped up their game in recent years. In fact, in well-managed stores, Coles delivers a level of consistency that casual shoppers can rely on. Walk into a busy Coles during peak hours, and you'll notice something immediately: high turnover. That's one of the biggest hidden advantages when it comes to seafood. The faster products move, the fresher they tend to be. And in many metro locations across New South Wales and Victoria, seafood counters are being restocked frequently throughout the day. That means what you're buying hasn't been sitting there for long. Another thing Coles has improved is visibility. Clear labeling, package dates, and sourcing details are now easier to find than they used to be. For everyday shoppers who don't want to interrogate a fishmonger, that transparency matters. You can quickly check whether something was previously frozen, where it was processed, and how long it's been on display. That kind of accessibility makes seafood less intimidating and more approachable. Then there's variety. Coles offers a wide selection, from salmon and barramundi to prawns and whitefish like basa. For families experimenting with seafood meals, that range gives flexibility without needing to visit specialty stores. And while sourcing includes both local and imported products, that actually works in the shopper's favor. It allows Coles to maintain stable supply year-round, meaning you're less likely to run into empty shelves or inconsistent availability. In better-performing locations, seafood staff are also becoming more knowledgeable. Ask simple questions like cooking methods or freshness indicators, and you'll often get practical, usable answers. That's a big shift from the past. Now, is every Coles store perfect? Of course not, but that's not the point. The real takeaway is this: if you choose a high-traffic store, check for proper ice coverage, and shop during busy hours, Coles can be a surprisingly solid option for fresh seafood. It's convenient, accessible, and when you know what to look for, reliable. Number 4, Woolworths. If Coles is about accessibility, Woolworths is about scale done right. As Australia's largest supermarket chain, Woolworths has invested heavily in improving its fresh food departments, and seafood is no exception. In fact, many Woolworths locations now feature upgraded seafood displays designed to maintain consistent cold temperatures and visual freshness. And here's where Woolworths stands out: presentation. Walk past a well-maintained Woolworths seafood counter, and you'll often see neatly arranged fillets, properly iced displays, and clear segmentation between different types of fish. That level of organization isn't just aesthetic, it helps maintain quality. Proper spacing and ice coverage reduce temperature fluctuations and keep products fresher for longer. Another strong point is Woolworth's growing focus on sourcing standards. Many of their seafood products now carry sustainability certifications or sourcing labels, giving shoppers more confidence in what they're buying. For customers who care about responsible consumption, that's a meaningful upgrade. Then there's convenience. Woolworths has expanded its prepackaged seafood range, making it easier for busy households to grab ready-to-cook options. These sealed packs often include portion-controlled fillets, marinated selections, or skinless cuts ideal for quick meals without extra prep. And while prepackaged seafood sometimes gets a bad reputation, it actually offers one key advantage: controlled handling. Fewer touch points can mean more consistent hygiene and storage conditions. Woolworths has also improved rotation practices in many stores. High-demand items like salmon and prawns are replenished regularly, especially in urban areas. That means less time sitting on display and better freshness overall. Customers who shop strategically early in the day or during restocking periods often get access to the best selection. Of course, like any large chain, quality can vary between locations, but when you find a well-run Woolworths store, the seafood section can deliver a dependable mix of freshness, convenience, and variety. For many Australians, it's becoming a go-to option for weeknight meals that still feel premium. Number 3, IGA. Now here's where things get interesting. IGA isn't just one type of store, it's a network of independently owned supermarkets. And that's exactly what makes it powerful. Because while consistency can vary, the best IGA stores offer something the big chains can't easily replicate: local expertise. In the top-performing locations, seafood isn't just another department, it's a point of pride. Some IGA owners partner directly with local fishmongers or regional suppliers, bringing in seafood that's genuinely fresh and often locally sourced. That means shorter supply chains, faster delivery, and in many cases, better flavor. You're not just buying fish, you're buying something closer to its origin. And customers notice the difference. In these stores, staff are often more engaged. They know their products, they can recommend cooking methods, and they're more willing to answer questions. That human element creates a shopping experience that feels less transactional and more personal. Another advantage of IGA is flexibility. Because stores are independently run, they can adapt quickly to local demand. If a certain type of fish is popular in the area, you'll often see it stocked more frequently and replenished faster. That responsiveness can lead to fresher inventory compared to rigid, centralized systems. You'll also find that many IGA stores keep their seafood displays simple and focused. Instead of overwhelming variety, they prioritize a smaller selection done well. And when seafood moves quickly, quality tends to stay higher. Of course, not every IGA is the same. That's why experienced shoppers treat IGA like a hidden gem hunt. Once you find a good one, it becomes incredibly valuable. A reliable IGA with strong seafood standards can easily compete with specialty fish markets, sometimes even outperforming them on convenience. So if you're willing to explore and identify the best location near you, IGA can be one of the most rewarding places to buy seafood in Australia. Quick question for you: where do you usually buy your seafood? And more importantly, have you ever noticed a real difference in quality between stores? Because once you start paying attention, it becomes obvious. Some places just handle seafood better. If you've ever had fish that tasted incredibly fresh, or the opposite, you already know how big that gap can be. Drop your go-to store in the comments. You might help someone else discover a better option they've never considered. And stick around, because the top 2 on this list might surprise you. They're not just affordable, they're actually outperforming expectations in ways most shoppers completely miss. Number 2, Aldi. Now let's talk about a store that's completely changed how Australians think about value: Aldi. At first glance, Aldi might not be the place you'd expect to find quality seafood. No flashy counters, no fishmongers behind glass displays, no overwhelming variety. But that simplicity, it's actually where Aldi's strength lies. Because instead of trying to do everything, Aldi focuses on doing a few things efficiently, and that includes their seafood selection. Here's what makes Aldi stand out: consistency. Most of their seafood is frozen, and while some shoppers overlook that, frozen fish, when handled properly, can actually lock in freshness at its peak. That means the fish is processed, sealed, and frozen quickly after harvest, preserving texture and flavor. And because Aldi operates on a streamlined supply chain, there are fewer delays, fewer transfers, and fewer chances for temperature fluctuations. What you're getting is a product that's been kept stable from source to shelf. That's a big advantage. Another benefit? Simplicity in choice. Instead of overwhelming you with dozens of options, Aldi offers a curated selection of popular seafood items: salmon, prawns, whitefish fillets. This allows for faster turnover and easier quality control. Products don't sit around as long, and stock gets refreshed regularly. For busy shoppers, this makes decision-making easier. You're not standing there comparing 10 nearly identical fillets. You grab what you need and move on. Then there's value. Aldi's pricing makes seafood more accessible to households that might otherwise skip it. And that's important because fish is one of the healthiest proteins you can add to your diet. High in omega-3s, rich in nutrients, and incredibly versatile. By keeping prices competitive, Aldi opens the door for more people to enjoy it regularly. And when you know how to choose properly, checking packaging integrity, avoiding damaged seals, and storing it correctly at home, you can get excellent results. Many experienced shoppers actually prefer Aldi for frozen seafood because of that reliability. No guesswork, no surprises, just straightforward. Products that do what they're supposed to do. It's not about luxury, it's about smart, efficient quality. Number 1, Drake's Supermarkets. Now, this one might surprise you because when people think of top seafood spots, they don't usually think of Drake's. But for those who know how to shop smart, Drake's can be one of the most underrated options out there. Here's why. Drake's operates with a strong local focus, especially in South Australia. And that local connection gives certain stores a unique advantage: adaptability. Unlike massive chains with rigid systems, Drake's locations can adjust faster, bringing in products that match what their customers actually want. In well-run stores, this results in seafood sections that feel more tailored and responsive. You'll often find competitive pricing on popular items like salmon, prawns, and barramundi, making it easier to enjoy seafood without overspending. And for budget-conscious families, that matters, because great meals shouldn't feel like a luxury every time. Another advantage is accessibility. Drake stores are designed for convenience. You can walk in, find what you need quickly, and get out without the overwhelm of massive supermarkets. For everyday shoppers, that streamlined experience makes a difference. And when it comes to seafood, simplicity can work in your favor. Less complexity often means faster turnover and easier stock management. Now, here's the key with Drake's, and this applies to any smart shopper. It's all about observation. When you pay attention to things like display freshness, packaging condition, and restocking patterns, you can identify the best times and products to buy. And when you do, Drake's can deliver solid value for everyday seafood needs. It's not about perfection, it's about knowing how to navigate the store effectively. And once you figure that out, it becomes a reliable option in your rotation. So, what's the real takeaway from all of this? It's simple. Great seafood isn't just about the store, it's about how you shop. Because every supermarket, whether it's Coles, Woolworths, IGA, Aldi, or Drake's, has the potential to offer good quality seafood when the right conditions are met. Freshness depends on turnover, safety depends on temperature, quality depends on handling, and as a shopper, you have more control than you think. When you start paying attention to the small details, the look of the fish, the smell, the packaging, the timing of your visit, you immediately put yourself ahead of the average buyer. You stop guessing and start choosing. That's when seafood becomes less of a risk and more of a reward, because when you get it right, the difference is undeniable. Better taste, better texture, and a meal that actually feels worth it. Now, here's the thing most people don't realize. The biggest mistake shoppers make isn't where they buy fish. It's how they choose it. Because even in the best stores, the wrong pick can ruin your entire meal. And in the next video, we're breaking that down step by step. How to instantly tell a fish is fresh, the simple smell test most people get wrong, and the visual signs that separate premium quality from something you should leave behind. Once you know these, you'll never second-guess seafood again. So if you want to shop smarter, eat better, and avoid wasting money on disappointing meals, make sure you're subscribed, because the next time you walk past that seafood section, you'll see things most people completely miss